Okay. So this is the example. The example one. Example one asks you simple user authentication request coming from user one. This is the step one. Step one. User is lab and user password is lab789. When receive this request in Juniper authentication order is first one is radius, second one is TACX plus, and last one is password. So step two, Juniper device send to radius server first. So in radius server, user is matched. User is matched, user is lab, okay, but lab password is provided password is 789, but actual password is lab123. Step 3, radius rejected that request, user request. Then Juniper device again send the TACX server because TACX server is second one. So again, in TACX server, user exists, okay. Password, provided password, and TACX server actual password is different. So again, user request has rejected. Then back to Juniper device, then check the local database. Check the local database. Step 6, then local database means itself Juniper, but here showing a different space. Step 6, user lab and password is lab789, local authentication database, user and password matched. So this is step accepted and user login the device. So this is the total procedure when authenticate a single user. When a single user try to log in Juniper device. Juniper device, if Juniper device use authentication order in that way, authentication process is the process flows that is the way, is the example one, showing in example one. Okay. Another example here show you example two. Example two is if local authentication not exist, that means password is not exist. Same user credential, user will not log in that device because this user credential is not correct. Okay. And local authentication database, it not in authentication order. In that case, radius back to reset and TACX server send a reset message to user. User cannot log in. Example 3, same user. You consider your radius server is down, your TACX server is down. What will happen? If this user credential created in your Juniper box in local database, if local database have that credential, this user will be logged in that device. Okay. If not user exists on the Juniper boxes or Juniper devices, user can't log in on that device. This is the total procedure of authentication. So in authentication here, how to implement this one. Okay. So first one, if you implement a radius server, you set the radius server IP and radius server password. You set the TAGX plus server IP and password and set the authentication order, which I show you in 3 examples. So if I go to our lab, then show the example. So like BMX1, this is the BMX1, and this is actually host name will be BMX2. Okay, so first let's check set system. If we enable TAGX or radius server, set system radius server, this is the command sequence. Set system radius server and radius server IP. If you just example, radius server IP may be 192.168.1.10, just for example. And you mention here, this is the very basic or minimum configuration. Secret, you have to set the password. This password should match with radius server. Okay, so like Junos 1, 2, 3. This is the example. Same way, TAGX plus server, TAG plus server, and TAG plus server IP is I consider here 11 and secret is same. So you configure your Juniper devices for radius authentication, and radius authentication server is this one, TAGX plus server, and TAGX plus server IP is this one. And now set the authentication order. What will be the authentication order? Set system authentication order. Set system AUT is authentication order. First one, you choose radius. Second one, you choose TAG plus, and last one, you choose password. This is your authentication order. Sure. So radius server configuration and TAGX plus server configuration, and this is the authentication order. You just consider you have radius server, you have TAGX plus server. If both server has or goes down, but you didn't configure this portion and not set any user credential in that device, if this both server is not off, you can log in that device. So password is or local authentication database is the backup way or failover way to log in that device if your both server goes down. So this is the best practice to implement in production. Radius, TAG plus, and last one is password. So you have to set a password like here one single password lab. Lab is the user and lab have a password. Must have one single user who is configured in locally. So if your authentication remote authentication system is not work, local authentication will be one. This is the backup way. So this is the best way to implement AAA authentication, authorization, and accounting, which provide radius server, TAGX plus server. So clear radius, TAGX authentication order. Is it clear to you? Okay, thank you. Oh, so first one is authentication. Second one is authorization. Authorization. One user logged in a Juniper device means the user is authentic or authenticated user. So what will be done by this user? This is called the authorization. What will be done? What task will be done using that user? That is called the authorization. So in authorization, we can put to different, we can permit a user for certain commands or certain configuration. Both way you can restrict a user, you can permit some configurations or partial configuration for one user or one group as commands. So this is the flow of user. You create a user must be in a class. Must be in a class. This class have permissions. If user is super user, they have all permission. Like this is the user, this is the class. Default Juniper have 4 classes. Super user, this is called the administrative user or root user. Operator, this is the limited user. This user cannot configure or modify on that device. Read-only means only view. Unauthorized means they have no permission. These are the 4 classes default configured in Juniper devices. You can also configure custom classes for any user you can create. So user class, and this is the permission. And what will be the permission? This is the total permission syntax. View configuration, routing, specific portion. If you don't allow view configuration, user cannot view your configuration. Okay, if you don't allow rollback, user cannot roll back your router. So very specific. What will be permitted on a user? So, and there is authorization example. So now we set an example which will clear you the how to create group or how to create class and how to apply this class for a user. Okay, and one user, you could deny or user could restart the device, for example. Yes, if you not permit a user, user cannot do anything. If you permit a certain task, user can do on that certain task. Okay, like this is the very simple example. User is Nancy and user Nancy class is knock admin. This is the authenticated user. Knock admin is this classes. This class permission user can clear, network portion, reset, and view. Allow commands configure private. Deny commands, they will not work with file. Allow configuration, they will work with interfaces and firewall, but not other configurations. Deny configurations. This here deny configuration is groups. If you set here deny configuration rollback or request system reboot, this is the deny configuration. So user cannot do this. So just we see one example that will, I hope, clear. So first one, we create a user groups. Groups means is equal to class. Okay, is equals to class. Okay, set system login class. Then you set the class name. Class name is knock. Or edit. You are in knock class. There is nothing. Set. Set two portion. Number one is allow commands, deny commands. Allow configuration, deny configuration. Deny configuration. Another one is permissions. What will be permitted? This class or this group, what will be permitted for execution? Like here example, permissions, clear network reset view, and I got large list for permission. This is the permission list. Permission list. This is the permission list. For it. Plus. This is the long list of permissions. You can set which one you want. Okay. So first one, set permissions. Also, you can help from router. You can help from router. This is your total permissions. Lot of options. Yes, there's a lot of options. Access all means if we set here all, set permissions all, that means all are permitted. All are permitted. Okay. Like here all, that means we can say it. Here is the rollback. That means view configuration, system, shell. Is a different configuration. Okay. Set permission, just for example, clear network reset view. What is the meaning of this clear? Clear means clear. Allows the clearing of learned network information. This is the clear. In Junos, there are some commands that are only used by JTAG. I don't know actually. So first one is clear. If you want permit clear, can clear learn network information. Like you can clear your interface for reset interface statistics, or you can clear your routing protocol for reset, soft reset. So then first one is clear. then enter. Show player is coming. Another one is if you set here view, you want to view something, view. So this command is like this, clear view. If you set here like third bracket, start and end, and you can set multiple parameter like means reset means can reset and restart interface and demos, okay, not device, interface and demos individual. Like view, already I set the view, reset and network. You can set like this, okay. If you set multiple option in single line, just copy this line and paste. So in that example, clear network reset view, I already set permission. I have done for permission. Then what will be the second one? Allow commands, deny commands. Allow commands and deny commands. Set allow commands. You can place your commands. Like here command is configure private or configure exclusive or only configure. Okay. So how to do this? Like exit, configure. If we place here only configure, what will be happen? Just allow only configure. Then press enter. I'm in configuration mode. So place here allow commands, configure, invalid, configure, quote, and semicolon. This is the wrong. This is the wrong. This is the correct. Yes. Allow commands, configure. If this have multiple portion like this, configure private or configure exclusive, like this, multiple word, configure private. If you place here this command private, this will return the error. Multiple word, if you place multiple word, then place the first bracket, configure private. It's also not allow. Yeah. Yeah. Single quote. Single. Configure private. Allow commands or single quote. You can use bracket, configure private. Both way, you can set the allow commands. If configure have multiple keyword, you have to use double quote. If single quote or single word, you can set directly allow commands, then command. Deny commands, you can do with file. You can do open a file or write a file like this. So deny commands, set deny commands. What is this? Deny commands here file. So similar way, single quote, bracket, then let's say file. So this is the deny commands. Another one is allow configuration, deny configuration. Allow configuration, deny configuration. Set allow configuration, allow configuration. How to do this? Here is multiple options. If you file is used for like save edit save file name. If I save some configuration file here, or there is this operating system have multiple file like invert directory, in temporary directory, there are lots of file here. Okay, I cannot allow like file command, run file, like you cannot delete any file, you cannot copy any file or rename any file. Okay, that's why I said here deny commands is file. If one user in this class, this user cannot execute file related command like file rename, file delete, file copy, file compare. Okay, clear? Jesus? Okay. Allow configuration. Allow configuration syntax is if you set here multiple options, double quote, and you set here multiple. So how to do this? Double quote, then bracket. First one, like you set interface configuration, like set interface, then something. Set interface, then something. So keyword is, here keyword is interfaces. First keyword is interfaces. Okay. If you allow, your example is firewall. So if I set this one, set firewall, there's the left portion. So this is the firewall. Okay, firewall. Okay. So then deny commands. Set deny commands, deny configuration. Example here showing the deny configuration is groups. Deny configuration is groups. Single quote, then first bracket, then gross. GROSS, gross. So this is the example class. This is the example class. We set here a user, edit system logged in show. So this is the customized class now. This is the user is lab. Okay. So set the lab user, set user, or I can create new user. Set user Junos. Set user Junos class. This is your customized class, and these four are system defined classes. These are all permitted. This is the administrative user, and others are limited permitted user. So class is knock. Then set authentication. Authentication, plain text password. Password is Junos 123 hash. JNOS 123 hash. Okay. So your user is Junos and Junos class is knock. Then set the commit. Try to log in using the Junos user from the VMX store. Before login, we have to put the IP configuration first. So set the first IP configuration. Set interface LO0, unit 0, description, loopback, and family inet address 1.1.1.1/32. Set interface CE-0/0/0, unit 0, description, connect with DMX2, and address is family inet address 12.12.1/30. That's okay. Commit. Run show interface description. It's okay. Then go to VMX2. Set interface LO0, unit 0, description, look back. Set your IP address is family inet address 2.2.2/32. Set interface CE-0/0/0, unit 0, description BLX1, and IP address is family inet address 12.2. Last one is 2. So the commit. Run show interface description. Run ping. Set the connectivity. 2 is okay. 1 is okay. So send the first one telnet request. Edit system services. Show set SSIs. Show then commit. run telnet IP is .1. Yes, user is Junos. Password is Junos 123 hash. Yes, I can successfully logged in. Okay, and what is available here? Configure. Okay, then configure private. Okay, then enter. Now I am in configuration mode. And what is available for now, or who is configuration is available for me is very limited configuration syntax. If I set here, set set only this person is editable for me, but in root user, if I here set, there's a lots of options, but here is very limited. Which one is permitted? Interfaces, firewall, and others are default. Others are default. This 2% I allowed for configured. I allowed for configured. Okay. Like I just logged out the device, logged out, set protocols. I allow protocol configuration for that user. Currently, there is no option for protocol configuration on that user. There's no option. I want to allow. I want to allow protocol configuration on that user. How to do this? Edit system logged in. Logged in class is log. Set class NOC. What will be allowed? Allow configuration. In allow configuration, you have to allow which one? Protocols. Protocols now allowed. What is happening? Previous to allow permission has overridden. So in that case, we have to consider previous two options also in that way. Okay. So now both three options are allowed for configurations. Then commit, then check from user, then again telnet. User is Junos. Password is Junos 123 hash. Configure private, enter, set, then help protocols. Clear? How to add, how to remove a specific user privilege. Okay. And another one is run show configuration. You see the configuration. Okay. And JCRC, which is JCRC partition configuration. Oh, JCRC is a maybe package for this partition, maybe. So I want to view the configuration. So pipeline display set. Okay, no issue. I see this one. So display set. I show the configuration. Okay. View and view configuration. Exit. Show configuration. And display set. Similar way. We can see the configuration. It's okay. So one user you create this user permission for what? What will be the allow commands and what is the configuration allowed on that class or on that user. So this is the total way of user creation, apply the classes and specify the configuration, specify the permission, specify the commands for on that user. So just any question? How to create class, how to create permissions? Any question? Is it clear for you? Yeah. Okay, that's good. Then go to system login. When user logged in a single device or device, a physical hardware has interrupted like interface down, up, the protocol down, up. Every event have log. And this log is set in var log /var/log and file default file name is message. Default file name is message. So how to take this one? Run show log help. Here you get message file. This message file is all log file. Okay, this is your log file. This log file is in var log. And this the use log run clear. You can clear your log file. Run clear log message. If you see here now, nothing. You already cleared your log file. Okay, so this is the system logging information. If you configure external log server like syslog, so you put here set system syslog host. This is your syslog IP. This is your syslog server but log server IP. Or specific interface, you just pipeline. Use the pipeline to see the specific portion like pipeline mesh and set here IP like 12.12.12. Only this IP related or interface related log message will show it here. Okay. If you send log message to another log server, you can set here the log server IP. Okay. How to set this one? Like example, your log server is set system syslog host. Maybe your log server IP is 192.168.10.30 log server and Log, this is a two-way any notice. That means log server has several severity. So which message you want to send the log server? All facility. Any means all facility, all log. There is the your all labels of log which will be sent to your log server. Basically, log server means log means if we set here notice or info, that is enough, actually enough. Otherwise, if you allow any debugging message also sent to your log server, that is not needed. Okay. In that case, notice or info up to info. I set here notice means this label and their lower level will be sent to log server. Like notice lower level means emergency. This is the number one. Emergency, error, alert, critical, warning, all message goes to this log server. So this is the notice, or other option is authorization. Authorization for similar you can use here use info up to info log message will send to syslog server. Edit system syslog, then show. This is your configuration for syslog server. Then commit. So there is no syslog server in that topology. So we can't troubleshoot or check syslog messages sent on that syslog server or not. So in Juniper part, just 3 commands is enough. 2 commands is enough for sending the log message to syslog server. Okay, facility standard log entries. How to check the log message? You can use pipeline, syslog, event, system tracing and debug. Tracing and debug. In Cisco, this is actually called debug. Okay. Just consider you configure one protocol like OSPF. You configure between BMX1 and BMX2. But this protocol will not come up, will not work, will not function. So need to troubleshoot, need to see what happened or what happened. What is the reason? What is the root cause? If you see this, then you have to debug, you have to trace. So how to do this? Just set protocols, OSPF, just for trace or debug understanding. I configure here OSPF, set protocol OSPF, area 0, trace option affects service in production. Actually, trace option throw lots of messages. That means a debug message that will prompt or that will use your router RAM. So if you have lower RAM lower RAM device, in that case, you will be in trouble. And if you have enough RAM, which one you troubleshoot, actually when you troubleshoot, very specific option you troubleshoot in your device, like voice pipe is not working, like LDP is not working. You can not enable all the trace options, all protocol trace options. If you trouble in BGP, only enable trace options in BGP. Then troubleshoot, fix this, and deactivate the trace options. Okay. In Cisco, debug is not enabled all time. Debug is enabled when problem arise to find the problem solution. After getting the solution, debugging should be off. Test option should be off after getting the final result or getting the troubleshooting result. Is it clear for you? Trace options is equal to debug in Cisco. Okay. So set protocol OSPF area 0. There is two interfaces. One is loopback interface LO0. That is unit 0. This interface should be in passive mode. And another interface is ZE-0 by 0 by 0. That should be in unit 0. And interface type should be in P2P. This is the two line for OSPF configuration. Then commit. Edit protocol OSPF. Okay. Show display set. This is the two line. I just copy this two line and paste to next to logged out the device. Next to then commit and just place here set trace options. Two parameter, you have to set two parameter. First one is file. First one is file. You have to set the file name. First one is set the file name. File name is OSPF trace. And files means maximum number of trace files. Maximum number of trace files. You set the name. You can set here how many files. How many files? If one files, you set here size like 1 MB. If one file have reached the 1 MB size, then create another file. This is called the files. How many files you want? You can set the size. And third one is world readable. Allow any user to read the log file. No world readable. Don't allow any user to read the log file. You can set here these options. If you allow other user to read that log file. If you don't want to do this, no world readable. Any user cannot see this file. Okay. So I cannot just for example, I skip that options and another option is flag. In OSPF, there are lots of flag. There are lots of flag. So I simply enable all. So then commit and then run show log, then help. This is your file and this file size is already this. Okay, so this file is only related to OSPF. No other logged in that file. Only OSPF related message is here. Only OSPF message. Okay, this is Very specific. So what is the status of WSPF? Also WSPF neighbor. Up. It's up. If I set here, set interface Z0 by 0 by 0, MTU like 9192. Then what? Should be in range 2000. Okay, set here 2000. Then comment. We could export that result to a TFTP server, for example. Yes, you can say it. So here, this Z0 by 0 MTU size is 2000. That means run show interface Z0 by 0 by 0, 0 by 0. And this empty is physical interface empty is 2000 and sub interface is 1986. So what is the status of BMX1? BMX1, this part empty is 1514 and sub interface empty is 1500. So there is a difference. Here is 1986. Here is 1500. There is the difference. If OSPF getting the difference between MTU interface, OSPF should be in failed, should be failed. Run show OSPF label. X start. OSPF is not now in full state. That means OSPF not up. You create the reason. So how to see from log? How to see from log? What is happening? What is the reason? What is the reason for X start state? MTU mismatch. Exactly, MTU mismatch is this one. WSPF packet ignored what and why? MTU mismatch from this one or interface at area 0. This is the reason. For this reason, WSPF is not coming up. So, trace options will help you to troubleshoot the problem. It's very helpful. So this is the trace options. Clear trace options. How to configure, how to check. Delete MTU deleted, then show. Commit, then check the WSPF neighbor status. MTU has deleted. Yes, coming up. Trace option is a very useful tool. Yes, very useful. And another option is it's very specific. Okay, already discussed. Show log message. I already answered it. Show log message, pipeline mess. You can set here your desert message. to get the desired message. Like trace option, you just mass here MTU related lines, only MTU related lines. What is this? That should come. That should come. Nothing. Nothing. Why nothing? This message. So tech support. Yes, I will give you later. Wait. Ready, MTU. Where is, okay. Um, mm, mm, mm. I checked from BMX1. WhatsApp message coming from 12.2. You can set, you can see only 12.2 WhatsApp message information or 2.2. 2.2 only mass 2.2. So in that case, you can filter your all log masses from your desired answer to getting your desired answer. Okay, then monitor log and trace files. Monitor start, then file name. You can see the another way to see your log masses. Clear log file. I already discussed this one. File delete, then file name. You can delete your file, no issue. And now now I am in NTP, network time protocol. Network time protocol, it's very useful because your log message, your monitoring tools need time is specific data. So your device, if your device don't provide the exact time, your log will not send the exact or corrected time. So in that case, your troubleshoot or your time frame will be wrong when you analyze. So NTP is very useful. How to configure this one? This is basically two lines. You configure addressing or you can configure remote NTP server, or you can configure your on-premises NTP server. Then just Juniper device send the NTP request as a client from NTP server. So how to do this? Very simple way. Set system NTP. Number one is boot server. This is the one option. Server to query during boot sequence. And another option is server. Boot server, then set your server IP, like 192.168.10.15, your NTP server. And another option is server. This is the two lines command. So for getting NTP update or time update from NTP server. This is your NTP server IP. Okay. Run show NTP associations, NTP status for NTP status checking. Automated configuration backup. This is It's a very regular task for us. You have to configure your device and send to your local machine or send to your storage server. In Juniper, this option is called archival. Cisco will use a similar method to sending the backup configuration to FTP or SAP server, or Cisco also support TFTP server. But in Juniper, there is I get here two options. TFTP also supported in Juniper, but FTP and SAP is more secure than TFTP. That's why you can avoid TFTP. So how to back up your configurations in FTP server or remote storage server? How to do this? Edit system archival. Nothing. Set. One option. This is the configuration. Configuration. Transfer on commit. If you commit on the device or on this device, your configuration file will send to FTP server or TFTP SCP server. Or you can choose time interval, transfer interval, transfer interval. Just you set commit thousand of times in a day, but you send 1 a.m. Your all router configuration sent to FTP server. But transfer on commit is very accurate. If anything changes, you can place the commit command. So every committed configuration file goes to TFTP server. That is very secure, actually. So I choose here transfer on commit. So another configuration statement that is missing. That is archive site. That means remote FTP or SCP server. How to do this? Archive site. Then if remote server is FTP, place your FTP. That means total URL actually. FTP // First one is user user, you can say it here Junos. This is the user FTP server IP 192.168.10. Example FTP server IP colon slash. This is the archive directory or backup directory. I say it here folder name is backup. Double quotes. Okay, this is your total URL. Then set the password here. Which password? This FTP user password, like FTP user password. Junos @ FTP. So this is the total command. When you paste commit, Junos, try to send your committed configuration file to on that FTP server. How to verify this one? Run show archive, run show system, run shows Okay. Check this one. Any checking. Yes, show log message, mass transfer. And show log message transfer TRANS transfer. In log message, there is a message when transfer your configuration file to FTP server. In my lab, there is no FTP server. This is the dummy IP. So in that case, this is not happening actually. Try but failed actually. Logger transfer file failed to transfer transfer config because this FTP URL is not exist. If you automatically backup your configuration file, you can set the valid FTP credential and a valid FTP information that will transfer your every committed configuration file to FTP server. That's very easy, boy. Okay, last one is SNMP operation. In SNMP operation, here a Juniper device is ASCEND. Juniper device send the SNMP, send the self information like interface information, local resource information through SNMP protocol to NMS server or SNMP server. Okay, SNMP communicate with UDP protocol. There is SNMP have three versions: SNMP version 1, version 2, and version 3. Version 3 is more secure than version 2 and version 1. So this is the basic discussion of SNMP and how to configure sample SNMP configuration, how to configure this one. SNMP description, location, contact, community cardinals, authorization, read-only. Here, authorization is very important. Authorization is read-only. Another one is write. If we authorization place a write, I can configure those devices from that SNMP or NMS server. That is very risky. For that reason, you have to put read-only only. And set your clients which SNMP or NMS server is allowed. And another one is another optional options, trace my group version. You can set the version categories, says link, targets, any other options you can set. Okay, I show you the SNMP configuration in our lab. The SNMP. So this is the end of the chapter. So last one, I show you the SNMP configuration in router. How to configure SNMP in router? Okay, edit SNMP. Show nothing is here. Set. There is lots of options. Set community is the very mandatory options. Set community, then community string. Community string is Junos @SNMP. Then view. Is the minimum command. And another one is there is lots of optional command like contact, engine ID, description. If you restrict someone, client list, you can use client list. Set view. Set community, this one authorization. Community, this one authorization. Yes, authorization. Read only. Yes, read only. That's okay. This is the mandatory configuration of SNMP version 2. If your SNMP server or monitoring tools ask this router with this community string, this router will provide request data to SNMP server. So that's all for the chapter. Jesus, any question? Any question? Jesus. Okay, okay. So today finished, and next we'll discuss chapter 5. Okay. So Allah Hafiz. Bye bye.